What up, Dokkaners? We got big news coming out of the JP 9-year anniversary discussions. Not that this is confirmed, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because this is a pretty big piece of news here that our very own Proton has discovered in the data download. So let's talk about it. It is revolving around the possibility of Autonomous Ultra Instinct receiving an EZA. And not the 6-year anniversary one, mind you. This one, the STR LR UI. Based on the information, it looks like this unit is poised and ready to receive an EZA. The only question is, when is that going to happen? But it really feels like it's going to be during the anniversary based on nothing at all, but figured I'd just mention that little stipulation there. STR LR UI Goku's SA scripts were updated. Among other things, both super attacks now check and apply a different effect depending on the super attack level during the card cut-in animation, something that usually happens with EZAs. I spoke to Proton further, and there is no exception to this situation. Whenever a unit's scripts are adjusted, that means an EZA is inbound. The only factor that still is yet to be determined is when that is. I bit my tongue! Ow! The only thing that's left, oh God, the only thing that's left to be determined is when the EZA is gonna take place. Oh my God, that's horrible. Bro, this hurts. So yeah, let's go through this here. If I sound different, it's just because I bit my tongue and this really freaking hurts. All right, so we look at these spef. This is the line in question. You don't need to know anything about like coding, but basically the entry effect is what we're talking about here. The entry effect is basically referencing the super attack name. When the super attack name appears in the animation sequence, you might have noticed that sometimes the animation style looks a little different. If you haven't, maybe you're just not looking close enough. It took me a while to actually realize this, I gotta say. But notice how for the God Goku, who we know had an EZA, base or like the regular level super attack shows lightning and the text. Then the second version, which is like the intermediary, this is not quite fully maxed out on the EZA. This is like SA level 12. The super attack animation now has a little bit more lightning on it. Same text. And then for the final one, there's more lightning and there's debris flying around. So this is basically the pinnacle of the EZA. And so that is why you see this. So with any unit, that sort of change in the scripts takes place when an EZA is inbound. So the fact that Goku now has this basically means an EZA is guaranteed. It's just a matter of when. And the reason why it's important to make that distinction is because we have had things in the past that have dropped during data downloads that would, you know, imply something is coming, but it never did. Case in point, Android 17, Android 18, we had these sticker effects drop before, I think it was before the worldwide download celebration. So everyone, myself included, expected it to be during the worldwide download, or I think it was as we were getting ready for part 2, we got it. So people thought, okay, Future Saga, it's going to be Android 17, 18 and stuff like that, right? So it never ultimately ended up happening, but it dropped during the data download for worldwide stuff, but it ended up being part of the EZAs for the Tournament of Power 17, 18, I believe. So that was weird because we expected it. It didn't drop when we thought, and it ended up dropping later. Another reason that we need to, you know, keep that in mind is Goku and Vegeta Blue. There was one particular asset that, or sprite that was updated, and it has never amounted to anything ever since. And that was last year in October or something like that. So with that not having ultimately been amounting to anything, the same could be made for this. Like they could be just prepping this for a potential EZA in the future. Could be a simple mishap that they simply included too much. But regardless, this is now in the data. This is now in the files. So eventually this Goku will EZA. So let's talk about what the EZA could potentially be. Pretty easy to predict in terms of like some of the standard stuff. Category leader skill will obviously go up. Stats will obviously go up. As far as the passive, the main thing about this unit that I don't like is that 70% chance to dodge drops to a 50% after 7 turns, meaning you don't have longevity with this unit. You have to get all of your dodging in during the first 7 turns to max out that stat line. But even now, that stat line's not exactly enough. We need a little bit more. So what I'm hoping for is probably double this in terms of stats. And then for these 7 turns, I mean, they could go one of 2 ways. Number one, they upgrade the conditions to make it like guaranteed dodge for 7 turns, and then drop change the high chance to great chance, which might be a bit broken, but I would be fine with that. It's Ultra Instinct, and he was unstoppable for the minute that he had it the first time. You know how Tournament of Power's timing is all messed up? Was it like a minute, 30 seconds, whatever it was? Maybe just give him guaranteed dodge. Why not? Right? So they could do that, or instead of doing that, just keep this exactly the same. Give him key. Also, he needs key. Give him like key. Give him extra stats here. So like key +3, attack and defense plus 159% up here. Then down here, an additional key +3, attack and defense plus 59%. Great chance of evading enemies' attacks, and launches an additional super attack for 7 turns from the character's entry turn, and then drops down to 50% after that. Medium chance of launching an additional super attack, and maybe like attack and defense plus 20. I don't know. Or maybe he just keeps the attack and defense plus 59. Key +1 up to 7, maybe increase this potentially. Stat growth can also be increased, maybe double it with each attack evaded. For the supers, both disable enemy guards, so maybe include a permanent stat boosting, like raise attack and defense down here, greatly raise attack and defense up here. Also, maybe if we could like throw in a guard, I think a guard would be cool, because this unit, I mean, you know, when he taps into Ultra Instinct for the first time, he has basically just reached a new level of heightened awareness, which doesn't just come with dodging, but it also just comes with defending, maneuvering. So give him some guard. Why not? Maybe throw in guard here. Maybe he just has guard in general. Guards all attacks, because that would make up for the fact that his dodge wears off, but he still has a sliver of hope to survive Fusion Zamasu, Omega Shenron, those types of events. So that's my quick little rundown of what I would want the EZA to look like. Let me know in the comments what you think an EZA could look like for this unit. Keep in mind that this unit is not an anniversary LR. This dropped pre-5-year anniversary. And this also dropped on global first, by the way. This dropped on global May 21st, 2020. JP got this about a month later. So yeah, this is not anniversary level. So in terms of EZA caliber, expect more things from the 6-year anniversary LRs, because that is obviously next. Royal Blue and MUI, those two will definitely be receiving EZAs. Let's see how this is going to be in comparison, if it's going to be dropping during the anniversary. We do get a bunch of EZAs during anniversaries. If you go back to 7-year anniversary, we had some pretty good ones. Where do we go? February 2022. Okay, so February, we had these 4 for the first half of February. Then if we go to the second half, we had the 3-year LRs. We had all of these free-to-play units receive EZAs. Then if we go to March, we also had year 4 EZAs. So this time around, we've essentially caught up to where after the 6-year anniversary LRs get their EZAs, the next ones would be 7-year, which is a tad ridiculous given how they have released in the last 2 years and given how still relevant they are right now. I don't expect they're going to be giving us 7-year anniversary EZAs going into the 9-year anniversary. I feel like at this point, now that we've caught up, it's going to be one set of EZAs 3 years ahead. So for 10-year, the 7-year anniversary LRs will EZA. For 11-year, the 8-year anniversary LRs will EZA, so on and so forth. Any more than that is just absurd, because then why would you summon on this year's units when you could just get them next year? You know what I mean? So there has to be a little bit of a buffer. So I feel like with only the 6-year anniversary LRs getting EZAs this year, that leaves the door open for a lot of other possible units. We could throw in STR Vegito, physical Boo Tanks, 2 worldwide download units that should have been given EZAs a while ago. They could receive EZAs during the celebration. And then you could also throw in LRUI, any other unit that might be relevant to the celebration, especially when you consider the fact that we still don't know what the theme is. And a lot of people are thinking it could be sort of like an homage to Dragon Ball Super as a whole. If it is, we could be getting EZAs from various facets of Dragon Ball Super. Maybe STR LRUI represents the Tournament of Power portion. Maybe alongside that, we get an LR Jiren EZA. Maybe for Resurrection F, we get a golden, well, we have a golden Frieza that could EZA other than the LR EGL one? Probably not. But maybe some other Resurrection F character could receive an EZA. Maybe for Battle of Gods, somebody else could receive an EZA. Maybe that's how they go about doing this. So we'll have to wait and see what they ultimately do. Again, we do have the fan meetup stream that's going to be dropping in 31 hours. By the time you're watching this, probably less than that. So I will be going live on the channel a couple of hours probably before this to, hype everybody up, get ready for it, and then we'll obviously watch, react, and I will translate everything that I can on screen. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, or hit that notification bell, that's what I meant, so that you don't miss the action, because this is going to be where all of our doubts get cleared up. And we will also see, now among all other things that we're looking forward to, we will see if Autonomous Ultra Instinct will EZA twice. This one and the AGL one, maybe more. We'll see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Leave in the comments your thoughts on the potential of the LR STR UI Goku receiving an EZA during this celebration. Do you think it's going to happen now? Do you think it's going to happen later? If it does happen now, how good should it be in comparison to the 6-year anniversary LRs? What are some other EZAs that you could expect or hope to see coming up during the anniversary? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you know. I can't do that last part because it bit my tongue. Click that notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned. Don't bite your tongue, kids. And always remember to Dokkan responsibly.